Hello, my name is Jordan Mudemba, and today I'm gonna take you through a tutorial on how to create a decentralized application on Celo. Celo is a mobile-first blockchain technology that focuses on making financial tools accessible to anyone with a mobile phone. Today's tutorial will cover two main parts. We'll cover the smart contract side and the React Native side. To get started, you will need to have the following tools: Yarn package manager. You can also use npm if you prefer to use npm. You will also need truffle and expo-c for testing React Native application or for running React Native apps on your Android Studio or testing it in your mobile phone. You will also need to have Node.js version 10 and above, and also Node Manager. This one is depends with what you like, whether you like to use VSCODE or Atom. You will need to install your favorite. You will need to use your favorite IDE, and also install Solidity smart contract highlighting or syntax highlighting tool. To get started, you will have to follow through these commands. You'll need to create a folder on your desktop or where you like to store your project files, and open it using cmd or git bash, and do truffle unbox. The truffle unbox will create a skeleton of the dappkit, and once you have downloaded your skeleton dappkit, it will tell you unbox successful, and it give you some few commands like truffle compile, truffle migrate, and truffle test. This truffle compile is for compiling the smart contracts, and truffle migrate is for migrating the smart contract, and truffle test for testing the smart contract. Once you have done that, you will cd into your folder. You will once it has downloaded everything, your folder should look like this. It should have these files and folders: the client folder, the smart contracts folder, and the migration folder, and the utils folder, and the package package JSON folder file, and then truffle compile. As I said earlier, I will do the first side is the smart contract side. The first step is the smart contract side, or you can think of the smart contract side as the backend side, and the React Native as the front-end side. In the normal programming or the normal setup of creating application. Yep. So let me open the Dapp on my editor. Okay, so we have the contracts folder, and we have a hello world smart contract that is already built, that has already been created. Then we have the migration file. This for helping you to migrate your smart contract to another network. The same for the migrations folder. And then we have the utils. So the utils helps you to create an account on Celo while you are deploying your smart contract. And the other one, it's to get your account, and when to get your account, your Celo account while deploying your smart contract, And then we have the other part, that is the package lock, that has the packages or the dependencies needed to learn your application. Then lastly, we have the truffle config. Now truffle config has the Celo contract kit, and then it has the network address where you will be able to deploy your smart contract. There are two main networks, the test network and the main network. And while deploying or when testing your smart contract, you will probably be using the alfajores funnel Celo test network. Once the smart contract has been built, once they are compiled, the build folder okay. So okay. So that was step number 1, was to truffle unbox. Then the next step will be to install, so that you can be able to get started with your development. And to do that, you will need to open your terminal again. This time you can open your terminal on your IDE, or if you prefer, you can still open it on your folder directory. Do an install to install all the packages. Okay, seems that I have a connection problem, but once you have done that, you should be set to, once you have yarn installed, you should be able now to have this folder, that is the node modules folder. Under your contracts folder, you will have to under your smart contract, under your contracts folder, you can create a new file. Let's say, for example, citizen.sol. As you can see from the tender contract, we have what we call the Solidity compiler version, and normally it's best practice to have the range of compilers starting from the lowest to the latest, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You first of all declare the version of the compiler you want to use on your smart contract, and then you start with the declaring the name of the contract. Let's say that our contract name is citizen, and then you will create maybe a string, like string name equals citizen, and then you can create a struct citizen and start with a string be citizen name yeah, like that. So citizen name, you declare some variables on how big you're creating a smart contract that keeps the citizens record or the government records, like an item, a price, an ID of the customer, yeah, and such. Once you have done that, you go to your deploy contracts.js, and you write something about you will be able to now deploy the contracts, the smart contract. You import your newly created smart contract, citizen artifact require citizen, and then you deploy the smart contract there. So since already we have something, I'll show you how to deploy the contract. The next step on our this one is not supposed to be there, it shouldn't be the next step. Next step is to npm run account on on your terminal on the root folder or the root directory is to learn npm account, so that you can be able to have an address to deploy your smart contract on the alfajores testnet. Once you have done that, it will generate I think I did talk about the utils folder that has the create. This creates an account, and that account, once you have created the account, it generates a file that has the secret key of your wallet. I'm waiting for it to give me the address so that I can show you the step. There we have it. Once you get this address, copy the address, and I'll leave the description to the links below on the channel. You will need to get funded and with test CUSDs, with test celo on celo.org/developers/faucets. Paste it at the there on the input port. And my network is a little bit okay. Not a lot. Let's get funded. Let's get funded. And we are done. We've been funded. So to check if your address has been funded, you can go to alfajores block scout and check it. And there we have it. We have been funded. Now we've been funded. Now the next step after will be to deploy the smart contract truffle, migrate, network, alfajores, since we have been funded. Since we have been funded and we have created our smart contract, that is the citizen or the tender, and the tender smart contract, and we are good now to deploy, to migrate to the testnet. From the documentation, even the Celo developers documentation on how to create a decentralized application, you should see something like this when you are deploying your should see something like this on your terminal, something like this on your terminal, initializing migration, network, and the network ID and the block gas remit, compiling your contracts, everything is up to date, there is nothing to compile. You should see something like that. We should see something like that. If you are coming from an Ethereum background, developing smart contract on Celo is basically the same. The only difference is that you don't have to the network changes, and there we have it. We are compiling, our contract is compiling, and compiling, it will compile all the contracts, compile successfully using and the network is up to date, and there we have it. So since I had deployed the contract earlier, that's why we didn't get something similar to this. But if we go to my address, I should be able to see my internal transactions. My transaction. So once you have truffle migrated to the alfajores network, and you have gotten your smart contract address and everything on the testnet, and the next step is to open a new terminal and under the clients, you cd into your clients folder and do yarn install. Cd to your client folder and do yarn install and do yarn install, but do yarn install. I have two projects there. And do yarn install. Once you have done yarn install, you will need to the compiled contracts. The client folder has different folders. It has the expo, the barebone has three folders inside the client folder. It has the expo shared, it has the assets, and it has the contracts. Again, the contracts folder contains the compiled folder. The contracts folder contains the compiled JSON format of the smart contracts. If you have had experience creating APIs, the normal way to the easiest way to interact with APIs are through either JSON or XML files. And since the smart contracts are created on Solidity, we'll need a kind of an API or a way or a format or an easier format to interact with the Solidity and React.js, and that's why the smart contracts are compiled into JSON format for easy interaction. And then we have now the normal app.js file, and that is the normal way of creating a React Native app that has app.js. It has the app.json, have the bubble, and we have the root. The root.js also contains the provider or the network. It has the same structure as the truffle config. You need to interact since the smart contracts have been deployed into the alfajores network, you'll need to interact with them, and you need a network provider to connect to the smart contract. And that's why there is two providers, the alpha test network and the On.Celo. That is the main testnet. So once the installation for the dependencies of the dependencies that are needed to create the front end part, you will first step is to yarn install to install all the dependencies, and npm install expo-c globally so that it can be accessed globally on your machine, and then you do the expo start. Let's start. Let's post that. So our project has folders. We added some few folder on the client side, depending with our Figma designs, the pages that we have for the mobile app, for the React Native app, and then we have the app.js, where we were able to call the smart contract. And also we did, yeah. Yep. So that's it. That's how you create a decentralized application on top of Celo. Key 2.